RSL Nation, welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome
What's
back.
up?
Episode 96 is
We're 4 away.
You're
we
starting to
are
count now because we are 4 away.
we are four away, everybody. Big.
Ooh.
I'll say it real quick first because we have a lot of things we're going to cover this episode. But once we get to episode 100, guys, we have a big giveaway coming. So stay tuned for that.
Christian's like, oh, what? We do? Yeah.
The
I might.
communication's great here.
We communicate really great. In fact, I already forgot. You'll tell me later in the group chat.
I was gonna say, don't spoil it now.
Yeah, but
Defeats the purpose.
but according to Marcos, yes, we will do something a little bit special. We might do something special. So stay tuned. Um,
Oh, we will.
I don't know about you guys. I've been enjoying the past couple of days of soccer just because of Champions League. Um, I'm a sicko, so maybe the CONCACAF Champions Cup I have been enjoying watching some games, but I don't know. How are you guys doing after a good? I thought it was a good weekend.
It was a great weekend.
Yeah. High school soccer started, so I'm back to reffing. So
Oh yeah, that's
back to getting yelled at by parents yesterday. Um,
love it.
had
Ooh,
to give a had to give a
I was.
few kids a yellow card yesterday for a nice shove to the chest. I'm like, you guys, be smarter than that. Like,
Fun.
How many parents are you gonna red card this season, Marcos?
ooh, what's the over under on that? I'm gonna
Zero.
say I'm
The,
gonna go one. One.
the kid doesn't have huevos to do it.
Ooh.
Have you pulled a red card in your career? No.
No,
That's
no, I have not.
exactly.
What? How
Yeah.
how many years have you been refing now?
This is season 8, 9, something like that.
Year, because season.
Season, yeah.
But yeah,
That's
I don't. Alan is correct. I don't have the huevos.
it's tough. It's tough to do a red card because you get a lot of guff for it. But
Like yellow cards, I can hand out like they're candy, but red, I don't have the quejones.
well, that's your problem. You hand them out like they're candy. So, anyways, this isn't a podcast about judging Marcos how he refs, but this is with that actually wouldn't be a bad
I was
segment.
just like, I would listen to that.
But we do want to dive in to this weekend, the RSL game, especially the one against Seattle. We'll do that. Um, like I said, I'm a sicko, so we're probably going to talk a little bit about Champions Cup, just because RSL bowed out. But there's also some other games that have our attention because RSL bowed out. And then we're definitely going to be talking about and looking forward to this Saturday's game against the brand new team, San Diego FC. Um, and we'll be talking about all about that. So let's dive into this. Christian, as always, could you please give us your initial thoughts and the lineup and what you thought about when you first saw it?
I obviously the biggest surprise of the lineup was starting Puyol up top. Australia making his debut for the club, and other than that, honestly, a solid lineup. Backline, I think, again showed its quality and its depth in having. Uh, let me just for our blind listeners, I'll just run through the lineup real quick. Starting at the back, we had Cabral with the backline of Catranis, Glad, Quintin, and Brown with defensive midfield being Ojeda and Nelly, and Nelly also captained, and then attacking midfield of Gonsalves, Luna, Marchuk, and then at the number 9, Pio. I thought it was a solid lineup. Um, the team played well. The passes were sharp. Interceptions were abounding again. That's something I think that I'm noticing a lot of this group, it and they also just they're doing a really good job of spreading a defense and just kind of that back line, just pulling them apart and opening up for opportunities to cross in. All in all, solid. I give it like an 8 out of 10. Pio obviously didn't score, and just it was not the debut necessarily. I think he would have wanted ideally a goal in your debut as a number 9 is always ideal, but he did all right.
But not all of us can be Chicho. That's the problem. So, um, Marcos. So
That guy.
that guy with Peel starting. I mean, give us your thoughts. I think you heard something in the press conference about Peel, but Peel starting this one, interesting.
Yeah. So in the press conference, Pablo mentioned that this was going back to Friday, so the day before the Saturday game. That was Puel's first time ever practicing with the team,
How's that even
and
possible? Like,
you know,
I thought he was with the team.
I did too. I did too, but
All right.
I was very confused when Pablo mentioned that. And initially, it was supposed to be Ayago who was supposed to get the start, but scratched last second, and they put in Puel. Makes sense because that was three starts in a row that Ayago got it. He needed to get some rest, and it was good to see some fresh legs. 20-year-old Puel get the start. You could definitely see that he was kind of a deer in the headlights. Kind of had some good moments. Kind of fresh legs, but all in all, we had a good start. That own goal came at a good time because if you were to fast forward 50, 60th minute, and if it was still 0-0, I think RSL they would have been kind of chasing, they would have been kind of worried, wondering where's our goals going to come from.
Yeah, in fact, I was kind of worried at halftime. Seattle made two changes, and those changes were heavy
Hmm.
hitter changes, and that's where I got worried. So I'm glad that we had the first half goal, even though it was an own goal. Um,
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw De La Vega coming in at halftime, I was like, we might be in for a barn burner here because, of course, going back to the Wednesday game in CONCACAF Champions Cup, he scored a brace, and I was like, eek, eek.
I mean, you mentioned it last episode, but I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. But the first half thoughts. So, I mean, Christian, you gave us yours. I think that the team was on the front foot for the most part. We did have a lot of opportunities, and it's the same opportunities that we had in the Champions Cup game. Markchuk running down the side, but also on our left side, it wasn't Gonçalves that was initially giving us the opportunities, but it was Catranis that was giving us the opportunities down the left wing, and and maybe I just want to hyper focus in on Gonçalves real quick. This might be a hot take, but I personally find him underperforming a lot. Like
Yeah,
it's like super underwhelming. The defense by him is absolutely zero. It almost reminds me of Luna like 2 years ago when before Pablo gave him his talk of, hey, you need to play defense. Gonçalves doesn't play defense. The guy can be steal the ball and run right in front of him, and he doesn't do anything. I don't know if is that what you guys saw, or am I just making it up?
I've gotta agree. Jogo's not just up to snuff right now. He's doing all right. I mean, Fatmov gave him an 8.1, which I'm honestly confused
It's the
as to
assist.
why.
It's the
It's the
assist.
but even then, like when Ajago came onto the field, Ajago played way more defense than Giogo, and I there's just something not clicking there right now for him.
I feel
yeah.
like he
I
doesn't
saw
mesh.
I saw a lot of walking, no energy from him, and I'm not sure what it is exactly. And just to Christian's point, Ayago brought that off the bench, and we'll get into it a little bit later. But Ayago is someone who I want to see that from every player, having that energy, that charisma off the bench for that super sub. But I want to get you guys' take on this one. What are your thoughts on having Luna playing that 10 once again instead of being on that wing?
That was interesting. I almost felt like he was lost a little bit. Like it's almost like we've been wanting this. Well, we fans have been wanting Luna to play that 10 position for so long, and Luna does play it on the national team.
Yeah.
Uh, on the U20s because when he subbed on for the senior national team, he actually played left wing. Um,
Hmm.
that's something to keep an eye on. But it almost felt like he was given too much reign and too much space. And I think when he's given too much, I think he doesn't know what to do with it. Though he was involved for me, involved more in the attack, more in the transition than
Hmm.
Giogo. Giogo, like, and I'm sorry to go back to this because it almost ticks me off because he's supposed to be our DP, our main guy. But when you only have 32 passes in the whole game, my friend, that's one pass per 3 minutes. Am I doing my math right?
Yeah.
One math. one math, one
One math.
pass, one math, one pass every 3 minutes. I mean, granted, it was a 91% pass accuracy, but he only created three chances. He took two shots. Guys, this is supposed to be our 10. And
Hmm.
and these numbers I don't think are foreign to the other games too. This is pretty consistent.
Yeah, Luna seemed like he was slightly better, in my opinion, than Giogo, but Luna just still seemed very MIA. Like he wasn't bringing forth that the shots that we normally see, the help on the attack. I don't know what it is. If he's doesn't seem like he is that perfect fit of the 10. I prefer him honestly on that left wing, being able to
Mhm.
send those crosses in.
I think he is more fruitful on the left wing.
Well,
Exactly.
not only sending crosses in, but cutting in to take shots. That's a very comfortable method for him to get in to take the shot is to run up on the left side, then cut into the right and shoot.
Exactly what
Exactly.
Savarino would do.
Yep.
I mean, so when we put Luna in the middle, like I said, I think he looked lost. The attack wasn't lost overall because I mean Dominic did what he does on the right wing,
Mhm.
Catranes did what he does on the left wing, but it just it was frustrating. Again, I'm stuck on Giogo, man. That part really ticks me off, and I think the way that the substitution patterns went went about also kind of ticked me off, only because we used
Kind of
all
weird.
five, but it was super weird. First off, Brown and Quentin cramping up. I mean, bro, we can't be doing that. But
More pickle juice. Pickle
But
juice. Pickle juice.
don't forget, coming off of the game against Herediano, they had the punishment trainings. So
true. All right,
little bit of clemency there. Little
fine.
bit.
I just a little. I mean, but I think the weirdest substitution we saw because only because we had so many midfielders on the bench was Bodie coming on for Dominic.
Yeah. Agreed.
Let's
Agreed.
let's talk about that because I think out of all the subs, that one pissed me off.
Yeah. At one point, we had Javane and Bodie playing on that right side together, which was so bizarre.
And I don't know, Christian, I can see your wheels turning. I think you're probably gonna say it might have been a five back. We might have been playing three center backs and with
But
to liberate our wings, our wing
we're
backs.
we're playing a false four back anyway right now with
True,
Catranes.
true.
But he Bodie didn't come on at all as a defender. He
No.
was strictly a wing, which people tend to forget when he was initially brought onto the team. He was brought on as a wing.
Hmm.
He did not always play defender. He started out as a wing. But that being said, he is more defensively minded than a wolf, right? And that could have been Pablo's thinking is like, hey, he's more defensively minded player. However, he understands the wing position and can still get some traction going if needed. That being said, a lot of silly giveaways and things like that. It just wasn't quite there.
Right, and that's what I don't like about that sub specifically because we had some good momentum. And I would have thought, yeah, let's throw in a Pablo or let's throw in a Wolf. Um, in fact, I again going back to Giogo, I really wanted Giogo out 70th minute. I was like, we can't have this.
No, from
Let's
from what we saw from Pablo Ruiz in the first game against San Jose, that would have made sense because yes, we lost 4-0, but Pablo Ruiz brought that the full 90 minutes, and that would have made sense to help secure this victory against Seattle because you see that Seattle literally brought in their fire attack. Why don't we bring at least one of ours?
right. I mean, and I wonder if they just brought him on just to get their legs working because unlike unlike Pablo, I think Brian Schmetzer had a little bit better plan when it came to preparing for the Champions Cup. But uh, but we still saw a Seattle lineup that was diminished compared to their normal lineup because right now they're playing against Cruz Azul, and the only changes compared to the Seattle game, I mean I can count the changes. I mean we have one, two, three.
Yeah.
Four changes, somewhere around there, three or four changes. So they're playing mostly their lineup. I mean, Morris, Rusnak, Roldan, Vargas, Tolo, they're all playing right now.
You can't forget
Hmm.
Nuhu.
Can't forget Nuhu. Um, but and I don't know. I think the lineup that we had out here should have been very similar to the lineup we should have had against Herediano, especially with Ojeda and Inelli. And again,
Yep.
if I were to look back and get angry again, it's seeing how Ojeda and Inelli played in this game and were
Mhm.
solid. That totally pisses me off that we didn't start those two with Herediano. I think that would have been overhaul. I think we would have absolutely won that game with just Ojeda and Anelli paired. I don't know.
No, I 100% agree.
I hate that I'm preaching to the choir with you guys because we all think pretty similar, but that's what sucks about this. But I think maybe we if I could change something about this lineup against Seattle, I think I would try to keep it consistent with Henry and Vera. I like that combo. Even though Henry is very young, I think he's bringing a lot to the table.
Yeah. And that's what Pablo mentioned in the press conference. Obviously, we saw a lot of changes in defense.
Hmm.
He praised how deep our back line is. When one man goes down, it's the next man up. And that's huge. And I want to give a shout out to Cabral. Rafael, huge saves in this game. And that's what kept us in this. Having a veteran goalkeeper like him is big time for us.
And I wonder, and tell me what your guys' opinions are, but the veteran experience that Cabral comes with is so much superior than what McMath comes with. They're the same age, I think, almost.
Mhm.
But Cabral's experience and training
Hmm.
you can just feel it's so much superior to what McMath has. And it's unfortunate and not dogging on McMath, but that's just the reality of the market of this game.
I
Uh,
mean, when you played in Europe and you played in Brazil, those are better leagues than MLS. And again, like you said, it's nothing against McMath. McMath is a fine goalkeeper. He really is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's survived for so long in this league. I mean, everyone's wanted him. Colorado, us. Where was the LC at? Philadelphia, I think. Uh,
Vancouver, yeah.
Vancouver. That's what it
But
was.
well, I don't know if you guys watched, but when Cabral is in goal, he literally acts like a general on a battlefield. He's literally shouting out commands to his back line, to Vera, to Glad, and he's way upfield too, which is kind of nervy at times. But it's nice to see him just yelling out those, which McMath probably did here or there, but no, it's loud. You can hear Rafael.
So there's a difference between Cabral coming up and going outside of his area compared to what McMath does when he comes out of his area and all of a sudden leaves half the goal open. I don't know if you guys remember Colorado last year,
Yep.
but the absence that I think everyone has been talking about has been Lachlan Brook. Absent from the 18, obviously absent from the lineup, but he started literally the game before. That one threw a loop like into this whole thing, threw a wrench into a lot of what people were thinking about this upcoming lineup. What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, Marcus, you probably have some answers for us, but I mean, why do you think we would leave, besides maybe league rules, why would we leave Brook off?
Yeah, obviously league rules. That's the major one. But the only thing that I can really think of that comes to my mind is the fact that he played on Wednesday. But obviously, we know back on Wednesday against Eddie Leno, he came off, was super pissed, stormed off to the locker room. I'm lost like the next person. It makes no sense at all to have a quality player get resting time in a very important game like this.
I mean, do you think this could have been a discipline thing, as in like because he got angry? Pablo's like, you know what? Those fits don't go well with me.
I mean, take a look at how Pablo reacted in the post-game interview that we had against Herediano. I think, and if you haven't seen those, you can go ahead check out our social media. We've got those clips up there. Pablo, I think his tolerance for excuses is going way down right now, especially since, like Alan said, there's a decent chance this is his last season with the club, and he wants to leave on a good note, and he wants to really also set himself up so that if he can negotiate an extension on his contract here, or if he finds a new club, he has a good pedigree to show, hey, I've got results here. I also don't really tolerate temper tantrums in my locker room.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, it could be that's why I wonder if it is because um without diving into too many details, being in the back of house this last game, the look on Lachlan Brooks' face when they all enter the locker room when they all arrive at the stadium, he exited 5 minutes later not happy. Obviously, I mean, which player is going to be happy about being left off the 18? I mean, no player. But
Nope.
but I think because it was consecutive from being he was pissed off being taken off in the 59th minute the previous game doesn't get added to the game on against Seattle, which again, it was an important one for us. Um, I wonder. But then we see him on social media on RSL social media happy as a clam. I mean, obviously it's for the cameras, but no issues. The team didn't have any issues with putting him out
But
whatsoever.
still, his Instagram is still disabled, which
I
interesting.
wonder.
I don't know.
Don't forget, he's also 24.
Toxic
Like,
girlfriends.
uh, just I do think that it's a result of just immaturity. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because his
Yeah.
play was fine. Obviously, he can be upset. I wonder if he said something to Pablo, and Pablo's like, you know what? Screw it. You're not on my 18. Take
Yeah.
the day, think about it, come back when you're ready. Because again, going back to that clip that we got after Herediano, Pablo does not anymore have time to waste on people who don't want to be here.
Well, he should probably take a look at Diogo. To ju- but yeah, you're right. I mean, his time is coming to an end. Whether he's fighting for a renewal or not, I don't know. I've heard rumors that he wants to go back home to Colorado, where his family still is. But I it could be exactly what you're saying, Christian. He just wants to have a good pedigree to finish off the season. He wants to show whoever his next employer is that he can control a locker room and that he can put out a good lineup. Um,
Well, let's just hope come Saturday that Lachlan Brook learned from his mistakes that he and then he's back in the 18 with the squad.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute here, but I still wonder. I still wonder. Um, so was this the best lineup we could put out? How many changes or who would you change to make this a perfect lineup? I mean, we've already seen back-to-back games where we've played pretty well. One we lost, this one we won. If you were to combine the two lineups, what would you what would you change, I guess, from the Seattle lineup?
For me, I think the only change that I would make is maybe take Quinton out and then maybe do a Vera. Other than that, I would think I would keep everybody the same.
Interesting. I personally would change the two center backs. I'm not a fan of Glad currently. I'd rather much see Kobe Henry um, with Vera. Leave me Catranis, though. I'm still super impressed with Junqua. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how Dallas didn't take advantage of him, but he has so much to offer on that left back.
He
I,
is a diamond in the rough. Like we have a good backup for Catranis.
yeah, I don't know. Christian, any thoughts? Last thoughts on the lineup?
I mean, start a Jago up front. That's one of the biggest changes I would make
Hmm.
between two. I'm taking a look at both lineups.
We just need to tell Jago to arrive to the stadium on time. If you know, you know.
If you know,
Uh,
you know.
one last thought on this game. And I want to get. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on this, but I'm just gonna throw out this. De La Vega, I think, is the expensive version of Luna. If you were to see them in person, um,
Ooh,
they are stocky, both stocky guys, but I think De La Vega is what we hope that Luna becomes.
I can see it.
interesting.
Yeah.
De La
Mm,
Vega,
yeah.
I mean, I saw it face to face in person on the field. De La Vega is fast, aggressive, technical, and hustles. I wish that Luna had all four of those the whole 90 minutes. Um, and granted, 90 minutes is hard to keep that up, but
Hmm.
I think Luna lacks a little bit on speed, which De La Vega has. De La Vega is so fast. Um, speed when it comes to technicality. I wish Luna was faster with his technical things and defensively recovering, being aggressive. I think Luna has a little bit more to offer, but I just think we got the Timu version of De La Vega.
Oh, that's so sad, but it's kind of true.
Sorry, that's just my
I
take.
I don't think right now we are seeing. I mean, we're clearly not seeing the best version of Luna right now.
No, no.
Um, I when he broke his nose playing for the U.S. men's national team, which I hope he does get an invite back. Um, they, I think it was the training team's biggest mistake to not have him train.
I wonder how
And
hard it is to train with a broken nose. I don't know personally. I don't know if like if you run and the up and down motion of your face kind of hurts the your nose. I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, I agree with you, Christian. I really wish that we would have had Luna for a couple more weeks. 'Cause I think he would be obviously better, be better
yeah,
off.
I think a lot of what we're seeing right now from him is a fitness issue caused from the injury because he broke his nose in what 16 places, I think. And so when you break your nose in 16 places like that, you're going to be a little bit wary. You're not going to be as aggressive. You're going to back down a little bit. I think he needs to get that mojo back.
Yeah.
And once he gets that mojo back, whew, whew,
He's gonna be dangerous. He's gonna be dangerous.
whew.
Well, cool. Glad we got the victory. I mean, that was much needed.
Last thing on this game, I want to give a shout out to the supporters that showed up and
Oh
packed the
yeah.
stadium in the south. That tifo brought to you by Los Caballeros Reales. That was beautiful. That was a
Well, it was sponsored by them, but it was actually done by our good friend Bjorn.
by Bjorn. Like, good job.
Fantastic.
That was a fantastic tifo. Awesome to see the stadium packed on a Tuesday. Oh, not on a Tuesday, at 2:30 on a Saturday. Excuse me. No, I for one, I didn't think that the stadium was going to get packed, but you guys proved me wrong. It was a beautiful sight to see, and getting 3 points, cherry on the top.
Yes, that it improved RSL's home opener record to 10, 2, and 9. So that means 19 out of our 21 we have not lost.
And Albert
Mm.
Rusnak has only been RSL once since he's been traded against us.
How long ago was that? How long did he get traded?
He's
21?
been 21. Yep.
Oh, I don't miss him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Then again, I don't miss a lot of players that people like, so eek. Like, sorry, throwing this out there. Dami, I don't miss him.
Mm.
Yeah.
I did like I do I loved his love for the team and for the state.
That I can respect that.
That we need more of.
Yeah. All right, let's turn the page on this one. We're gonna talk a little bit of CONCACAF Champions Cup. I know
Ba,
it's
ba,
a
ba, ba.
it's a tough
No,
topic,
this is a bittersweet.
but we like we just played Seattle. Seattle was sitting out a couple of their players because of who they're playing right now currently. Cruz Azul, they're in the 59th minute, 0-0 at Seattle. But I think the game that interests us most, let's just go straight to it.
Thank you very much, Herediano. Gracias por todo. Gracias por todo, Herediano.
All right, so here's the thing. All right,
Not over yet, but
Herediano, they they got to play the Galaxy, who we did not get to play. Um, we're not going to break down this game, but we're definitely going to give a couple of thoughts here. Herediano played the Galaxy at their home, at their 12,000 person stadium, which they didn't go to the 20,000 one like they did against us. But they ended up beating the Galaxy 1-0. So, what does this say? Let's try to break this down and give our opinions on what does this result actually say about the three teams, us, Herediano, and the Galaxy.
Well, for one, obviously the Galaxy have many, many injuries, so they have that they're dealing with. It's like 9 or 10 injuries, but Herediano, they're a fast, good attacking team, and of course, who scored again? Elias Aguilar once
Bro,
again. So
bro.
the dude does not stop scoring.
So now, is this victory um, a testament to what and who Herediano is, or is it the state of the Galaxy?
I gotta say it's both. I think Herediano was undervalued immediately just by being a Costa Rican team, and they are still dominating that league. And I think they're showing that they can hang with the best of them. So hats off to them for what they're doing. I think the Galaxy are showing a lack of depth that they rely. Marcos was bringing this up earlier, and I thought it was in our private chat, and I thought it was a phenomenal point how they rely so much on Ricky Puig. And who else is out for them?
Paint Sill?
Painful.
Paint
Painful.
So. Yeah, they rely a little, honestly, almost to a fault.
Well, they
Um,
thought getting Christian Ramirez, getting Marco Royce were going to be their diamond in the rough. Like, yes, they still have Gabriel Peck, who's a phenomenal striker, but you can't just rely on those three players to build while you have injuries.
Marco Royce is figuring out, like every other European star that comes to the United States, that MLS is tough. It is such a tough league to play in, and uh, people assume a lot. They're like, "Oh, just because it's the United States." And I stand by the MLS is a top 10 in the world league. There are obviously it is a bit exponential, right?
Mhm.
But we don't give. I think us as Americans, we don't give enough credit to MLS, and because MLS fans online aren't as like giving enough credit to MLS. The European stars, when they're doing the research, that look are like, oh, what are they saying about MLS? Oh, they're saying, oh, okay, I could go over there and trounce about a bit, and then they get here like, oh, geez, like even Zlatan who ran MLS, which he did not. The dude had a scored a ton of goals, got nothing out of it, tucked his tail and ran back to Italy because he couldn't hack it.
All right. All right. I'm just gonna say this. You went into pancake mode,
Sorry.
and in the sense of this, we just talked about how giving credit to Herediano, they're super good, and then you totally flipped the page and said MLS is like way good, top 10 league when they just lost to Costa
Ed,
Rica.
sorry. Herediano is still a much better team than we give them credit for. That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. Don't be sorry. I just like to make fun of you. But I won't say sorry ever for that.
Yeah,
Um,
don't be mistaken. Herediano, they're still undefeated in this calendar year.
that's
So
that's also true. But
yeah,
here's the funny thing, and maybe to Christian's point about rankings, because we did have a slight conversation. I wish I wasn't so busy at work because I was had some words for you. But Herediano still is not ranked above any. I don't think any MLS team in
They
that ranking.
they are now. They are
It,
ranked 30th. RSL is now ranked 32nd.
okay, all right, fine.
And
There we are.
RSL still above a bunch of MLS teams.
True, true, and so, um, when I don't want to get too deep into the league ranking, so I'm going to come back to this Herediano game. I think I started seeing some comments once the Herediano result was final, I started seeing some comments online discrediting Herediano and more crediting it to the Galaxy missing a lot of players. And I find that incorrect. I don't find that anything right with that because Herediano beat us because of the team that they built, the team that they
Hmm.
have, the unity that they have. I I don't I'll put very little on the fact that the Galaxy, yes, are missing key players, but you're like what Marco said, your team can't revolve around two or three players. If that's the case, then your team is screwed.
Hmm.
Seeing how bad the Galaxy have been so far in the regular season, and now against Herediano and Concacaf, I'm so glad that they did not make the FIFA Club World Cup because they would have gotten housed. Yes, they have the money; they can go out and go shop and get whoever they want, but money can only get you so far in the world of soccer.
I mean, it can win you titles.
It can win you titles, but yeah, money does not buy happiness in the game of soccer. Yes, it
Lies.
hasn't. Well, yes, it has in the past years for NYC, for New York, for Miami, but for LA, they haven't built that depth that they need off the bench. They only
Oh,
have
oh,
they
lies.
only
It bought them titles back with David Beckham.
yes, but I'm talking this last season, this season they don't have that depth to help those star players who will get injured.
Fine, fine. I mean, and on top of that, they got rid of Joveljic, sent him over
Yeah.
to Kansas City, and that was another goal scorer. So,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah. But again, I'm going to give more credit to the fact that Herediano played really well. And I guess I'll agree with most people are saying online is that I think Arsenal fans should be pissed right now. Um,
Oh,
don't
absolutely.
be pissed for too long because I mean, really, we're not gonna hang on to this. Actually, we might hang on to this for the rest of the cup. But the fact
They're my dark horse to make a deep run. They're my Cinderella
now
for
they
this
are,
tournament.
they weren't before. Because if RSL obviously would have played this game tonight, one, that's cold and wet outside. I wasn't gonna go. But um, we probably would have beat the Galaxy.
I think so. We would have put up
Hmm.
a good fight, I think.
I don't think it would have been put up a good fight. It would have been how many goals can we score on them?
That's nice to hear. I
Yeah.
like that. I love hearing that. You wait, can you say it again?
It would have been how many goals we would have scored on them.
Oh. Mm.
Yes, because that's the reality. I think we have a lot of fronts where we can threaten. So be be upset, RSL Nation. Be upset, but just know that we do have to play the Galaxy. When do we play the Galaxy? That's
We
a
Uh,
get to
begin,
play the Galaxy.
beginning of April,
They're still going to be down players. Paint
and
Still's
it's
not going to be back. Puig's not going to be back.
and on top of it, it's an afternoon game too when they come here.
Really?
2:30 p.m.
2:30 when Galaxy come here next month.
Shut up. Two
So
afternoon games in a year?
I don't know. How did we get so lucky with that?
MLS must really starting to like us now. Um. Oh, I don't
I
know if
don't take back anything I've said.
I might not be able to go, guys. I might be at my son's soccer game. I don't know which one's better to go to, RSL or my son's game. You guys choose.
Porque
Uh,
los dos.
no, because at that same time, my friend, he can't. Anyways, um, CONCACAF Champions Cup. The only other thing that's going on right now is that Vancouver is playing against Monterrey, and Monterrey is beating them.
Mm.
Surprise, surprise. Not really. Monterrey though is sitting a lot of their star players. I don't know if you guys were able to see any of the lineup, but they are sitting. Obviously, Sergio Ramos didn't travel, but they are sitting Ocampos and Berterame. If you guys remember Berterame, he's dangerous.
Arte-
Mhm.
Artega.
Yeah, they're sitting a lot of their guys and they're playing away. So I think that just tells you how much confidence Monterrey has.
Well,
Um,
They,
Monreal also has a big game this Saturday against Cruz Azul as well.
Ah,
the
I
same
didn't
Cruz
see.
Azul that can't beat the Sounders.
Wait for it. I'm looking at it. Sanders just hit the post. Sorry.
Oh,
That was a 70th minute, if you guys we're watching. Anyways, um, so I guess real quick, what does that say about RSL then? If we can beat Seattle, even though Seattle was playing with three changes, does that mean we could have put up a fight in this? I'm gonna be stuck on this. This is not good.
I think we're not giving our team enough credit right now.
This is true, and I think because of names and money value, I think we're judging. And yes, maybe we're this conversation has turned a little bit more positive than other conversations. But I mean, granted, we're seeing that we can put up a fight and we can do stuff with lower, we'll call them lower quality players, even though they're not
Yeah,
lower quality.
for a small market team, we have depth. We are a good team, but that's about it. Like, who knows? We could play like the what if game forever and ever going against the Galaxy, but I don't know. We need to move on past that and just focus on the rest of the season because there's still 32 games left in the season, and it's a long season.
Plus Leagues Cup. But Marcos, you sent a message today, or you heard something today about our future number nine.
I did. Today, Jason Kreis was on ESPN 700 talking with Spence, and he said that they are in the works of getting that nine that everybody has been asking for the longest time. And he said before the transfer window closes in April 23rd, we will have that number nine.
So that means
So
they're already working with someone probably.
so he said that
Mm-hmm.
Kurt is finishing up visa paperwork, all that. So
Oh, say that again.
visa paperwork, all that, all that
Guys,
jazz.
That didn't have the same effect this time.
yeah.
Alan
But
Alan can do it while you can't.
I could repeat myself better. But that means I mean if we're talking visa, we're talking international.
My guess, I'm gonna say DP.
Cristiano Ronaldo confirmed.
Ew.
Boom.
Why? Why? Ew. Why?
Can we bring
Um,
Julian?
no. I
No,
wouldn't make Julian suffer. That's horrible.
that,
Um,
that, that wouldn't be
Well,
suffering, but
well, we
it's
saw we did.
beneath him.
He scored against Madrid. We need some of that.
that was a beautiful goal. But if we're looking international, let's start taking guesses. These are pure guesses. Europe or South America?
As much as I hate to say it, I'm gonna say Europe because that's kind of where I feel like RSL is kind of drifting towards.
Hmm. Christian, do you have any inkling?
I, oof. I'm probably gonna say Europe as well.
Hmm. I wonder. I wonder what kind of league this player's going to come from. Whether it's Europe, South America. I wonder what kind of player this is. But I mean, it has to be a big nine. By the way, it has to be
It has to be.
You know,
because
Nothing
we have
in
a we have
nothing
a
in the
lot.
rumor mill so far.
We
right.
have a lot of money that we got obviously from the Elias that didn't happen. So we have a lot of extra money.
Okay, so that being said, this actually was also a conversation I was having with a friend about the current situation we're in, with looking for that number nine with a lot of money, um, visa and everything. Hear me out.
We listen but don't judge yet.
You're going to judge so hard. Olivier Giroud is sitting on LAFC's bench, not working into their current formation right now. What if we were, because he would still need the visa, right, to play for us.
Would he?
What if we brought him on as our number nine while we still took time to find a more long-term number nine?
I like it. I don't hate it, but how much playing time and all that, I feel like he wouldn't bring any energy. It'd be a lot of walking from him.
Fair? Because if we look at our number nine depth right now, we have a blank spot in number one with a Jago number two and Peel number three. That's what the depth is right now.
Not gonna lie, I hate your idea. That's a horrible idea. Why would I bring a 38-year-old on? Um, well, there you go. I
It only
judged
works for
myself
goalkeepers.
harder.
Only works for goalkeepers.
Yeah, only goalkeepers are allowed to be over 35 and be starters. Um, so you threw me off, Christian. That's horrible. Um, but don't ask me what my ideas are because I don't have any better ideas. But I know yours is bad. Um, let's
Hey
what?
now.
I'm not. I love you still, but sometimes I wonder. Let's kind of drag this over. Let's drag this over into the San Diego game this Saturday. This is going to be a fun one. Only because I say only because the other part of this news is not as good, but only because it's the first time they're visiting Salt Lake. Um, I think for those that love Jasper, he's coming back to town. Not a favorite of mine. Don't really care. But um, the only bad news about San Diego coming in is that Chucky Lozano grabbed an injury.
I'm happy slash not happy because obviously I want to see RSL go against one of the best of the best,
The
but
best.
that's really disappointing. The best,
Okay, is Chucky one of the best of the best, or is he
the
just
the best of the best from Mexico.
Look,
okay? There you go.
that's like everyone trying to compare Chicharito to Messi back in the day. I mean, come on, let's be real here. Chucky he's a good player. Let's be real here. I mean, then again,
No,
we're
it
coming from
really that really
Argentines.
it really I really well that really sucks for all the Mexican fans who are hoping to see
Yeah,
Chucky Lozano. I feel bad for you guys. It would have been nice to see a great player. But don't get me wrong, San Diego is still a very, very good team without him.
I'm actually quite worried. Christian, you were mentioning about the fan votes about who will win. It doesn't seem too
yeah.
favorable
Thought
for
Mob
us.
has a. It does not. Thought Mob is showing a 54% guess that San Diego is going to win.
Oh, it went up 50-56 now. Gosh. Uh,
Ooh.
Oof.
yeah. Well, let's dig into this. I mean, who was their last starting lineup, and let's figure out why they everyone thinks they're so good.
So their starting lineup, they in their back line they have Jasper starting, McNair, McVeigh. That's a lot of mix there. They got Negri. They got Anibal Godoy, which brings a lot of experience in that midfield.
I'm
Uh,
sorry. Say that name again.
Anibal Godoy.
I give it a pass.
Okay, fine.
It's not the best, but
De,
Marco's
De,
in his face like, come on, guys, shut up.
De La Torre, uh, Dreyer, and then they got Marcus Ingrason. So I'm not going to pronounce these Danish names for you.
Danish. Ingvartsen. Um, I think there's a couple players that we probably need to hyper focus in on. One of them is De La Torre.
Mm-hmm.
De La Torre. He played in La Liga before coming here. Played for Celta Vigo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Celta Vigo is obviously a lower level team. Was he starting for a minute there? I think he was.
He was. Yeah, he was.
He is a U.S. national off and honor, and but so far from what I've seen in the games, the two games of San Diego, I haven't been too impressed with De La Torre. Not not something that really should worry Ojeda and Anelli. Really, I don't think there's not very many midfields in the league that are going to get past Anelli and Ojeda. But combination with Godoy, what Marcus was saying, Godoy comes with a lot of experience.
Yep.
Like like a lot. Like I don't even know how old he is, but he's like,
35.
yep, that's a lot of experience. He's
I'm not old, I'm experienced.
he spent a majority of his career in two teams, San Jose and Nashville.
Yep.
And I remember most of his time with San Jose. I don't remember much from Nashville because they're East and we didn't play much in the East. But I do remember playing against him with San Jose, and he's a tough player. He's also a Panamanian national team player, and so that also attributes a lot of a lot of experience. So with De La
Mhm.
Torre and Godoy in their midfield,
They have a
should
solid midfield.
yeah, should we be worried about what their midfield can produce?
Definitely. Player for me to keep an eye on is their leading goal scorer who scored both goals in the home first game, Dreyer. He is a fast, cheeky player and
Hmm.
someone who you wouldn't expect at all to be a scorer, but he's smart. He's smart up top and off the bench. Well, I guess he'll be the starter because he came off the bench for Chucky. Is Boateng. Boateng, very very fast player. He's I want to say similar to an Anderson Julio, but I think in that game Boateng did come off. He came off the bench and then he came off again as well.
But I mean, I'm not I'm not too worried about Boateng, only because who did he play for last? Um,
New England.
New England, and before that was it with the Galaxy? Am I talking about the same Boateng? How many Boatengs are there?
New England, Columbus, DC, LA.
Has it really been that long since he's played with LA?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He's been team hopping.
gee whiz. Then I must be in this league for a minute. I thought it was a lot sooner than that. Oh, 2019. Guys, I'm so far behind. Um,
It's been 6 years. Come on, catch up.
my
You had more
gosh.
hair back then.
Seriously. Um, but I don't see Boateng causing any kind of ruffles with RSL. Even if he does start, I'm not too worried about him. The games that he's played within the past 6 months have been minimal minutes. So one, I'm not worried about him starting. Two, the effect that he has off the bench is obviously pretty minimal. Um, so yeah, not worried about Boateng, but I am going back to their goal scorer Dreyer. He came over from Anderlecht, where he had
Mhm.
31 goals in 87 appearances. Yeah,
Bro
that's
doesn't
a
mess around up top. He does not mess around.
no, and so that's what worries. I mean, it's something to be worried about, to be quite honest. He
Mhm.
played for before that he played for Midland. Well, I'll say Midland just to call it good. 10 goals in 27 appearances. 7 goals in 13 appearances. His team before that, 8 goals in 14 appearances. So the dude is a goal scorer, and therefore, obviously very dangerous. Right winger. So if he's going to be on the right wing, who's going to be our left back? Who would you prefer to be defending this guy? Catranis or Junqua?
I gotta go Junqua.
I don't know. It's a 50-50. They're both
You have
solid
to choose
players. Like
one. You have to
I
choose
gotta
one.
choose one. I'll go with Junqua. I'll go with Junqua. He's impressed
Junqua.
me. He's impressed me more in his starts.
Well, it's not just that. It's he's a bit more defensively minded than Catranis, which is weird to say about a defender, but Catranis does a really good job of pushing up and creating attacking opportunities from the back, and he does go back, drop when he's needed. But I think Sam's a better fit against him.
Now, if your focus is defensive, against Dreyer, for example, do we lose that depth of that left winger going up and providing offensive distributions?
No,
Because
because Sam has shown that he can push up and provide those offensive distributions.
true. I just worry that if we focus a little bit more on the defensive aspect, I think we might lose some depth in on the offensive front. So with that, let's give me your guys' lineup that you guys would put out against San Diego. Marcos?
I would go very similar to what we saw against Seattle. Let's switch out PQ for maybe a Vera, and then obviously put Ayago up top instead of Puyol.
All right. Christian?
Hold on, I'm building it on Thought Mob right now. Um, so yeah, I mean, hold on, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Where is he? There he is, right there.
We're losing listeners as
And
as you're
all
doing
right, so back lines can be Junqua, Glad, Henry, Quinton, followed by Ojeda, Nelly, Gonzalez, Luna, Marchuk, and Ajago up top with
you,
Cabral in goal.
Quinton as a right back?
Hmm.
I mean, he can play it, but interesting. All right. I like all of that. Sorry, who'd you say your left back was? You said Junqua?
Junqua.
Okay. Um, I might stick with Catranis, to be honest. I like how Catranis plays. And then sub in Junqua, 65th, 70th. I think what we've been doing. But I'm gonna get some flack for this. I would actually prefer Bodie on the right back. I'm not
Bodie's done a
sure.
good job. I mean, I'm not going to give you flack. He's done a solid job.
You know,
He's
I've heard hate on both sides, the Bodie hate, the Javane hate, but I could go either side.
I think that's why Christian went with the PQ because there hasn't been any PQ right back hate.
There has not. There has not.
No, and it's a solid pickup. So, um, with that, let's get into some prediction time.
Oh,
Prediction
it's
time.
Christian, let it lay on us.
I was wrong last week. Let me be clear. I was wrong, and I'm glad that I was wrong. However, I'm gonna go a bit more conservative again. We've got two teams that have never faced each other. There's no rivalry yet. You've got San Diego who's coming in confident, and RSL who's finding its confidence. I'm guessing it's a 1-1 draw.
All right, conservative. Marcos.
This will be San Diego's first trip out of the state of California this season. They will have it to do with elevation, which I don't think that there'll be a hard test for them. So give me a 1-0 victory for RSL.
1-0. All right. I can see that. I can see that. Um, I think I'm gonna go positive as well. And I think I'm still stuck on the 30 shots from Herediano and the output that
Hmm.
we had against Seattle. I think this is gonna be a 2-0 win for RSL. 2-0, amigos.
Let's go.
This is gonna be solid, and we're gonna show San Diego what it's like to lose for the first time.
Oh,
Eso, eso.
All right, let's finish this off as we normally do with some Instagram questions. Thank you all for also participating, giving us some other things to answer, to talk about. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving us throughout this whole podcast. So keep them coming. So Marcos, lay it on us.
Without further ado, first question we got: who is the best player on RSL right now?
Is this like a question of like who's the best, Messi or Ronaldo kind of thing? If we were to do like just one player who we think is the best,
Who is
uh,
the best
um,
at this moment right now?
on RSL, eek. I'm gonna say Ojeda. I'm just throwing it out there. Ojeda, he has a good shot, good passing, good space coverage, good defense. Overall, best player.
You see, I'm
I
gonna go. I'm gonna go with Rafael.
Oh, what? Oh,
interesting.
that's very interesting.
I'm gonna go with just to be different here because I actually think there's a very good argument for Ojeda. I'm also gonna go defensive midfield though with Emeka.
They're very similar.
They are.
They're very similar. I only chose Ojeda only because of he has a little bit more pedigree, a little bit more experience.
That's
But
fair.
that's the only reason. All right, bring on the next one.
Next question. Please break down how a transfer window DP work is essentially how we get new players. Thank you.
You
Um,
take the money. You go to the other team. You offer the money. They say yes.
um, yeah, I think and I don't want to minimize the question. It's a great question.
It is a good question.
But we've expressed many times on this podcast that we are not experts. We are not market experts. But and I think we're pretty simple-minded in the sense that we get the money, we offer it to another team, say, "Hey, we want your player." They say, "Our player's not for sale." We say, "Okay, next team." And I don't know.
That's as much as I understand. You take the
Yeah.
money. You offer the money.
The only transfer experience I have is on FIFA, guys. All right.
Really? No football manager?
Yeah. You didn't play Football Manager as a kid?
Or as an adult?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Well,
I've only done FIFA on
no.
on career mode.
That's your next task. Play some Football Manager. You'll learn how to buy players.
Well, if I stop recording with you guys at 10 o'clock at night, I might have some time to do that.
You have 6 other days in a week.
Stop
You
it.
do. Next question. Here we go. Who should start? Ayago or Peel?
Give Pio another month, and he's gonna be on the same level as Ayago.
Yeah, I can't argue against that. Right now,
Go
as of right now, if I had to pick right now, Ayago, because Ayago has more experience and is a little bit more confident on the field. Peel, and I think we have an Australian problem where they just are catching up. They're both great players. I am a fan of both Australians. Don't get me wrong. They just haven't made the
The
yet.
jump. Yep. I
yeah.
agree.
Peel had big time stuff in the Australian league, so I think give it time. Give it time. He's still acclimating to this fresh new league that he's in.
Yep.
Next question. Will RSL actually try in the League's Cup, or will they just not really care at all?
Can we just lower our expectations? Okay,
Mm.
here's the thing. The past two seasons, the first season that it happened, we barely got Chicho, and all of us were really excited, and we got let down. Um, this last season, again, we were super excited because we had Gomez that was on fire and Chicho, and got burned again. Guys, let's just have a great season. But let's I don't know. Maybe I'm just
That
being that's my negative side.
that being said, I think there's validity in that 100%. That being said, I think with this new Pablo done with the BS attitude, I think we will take it a bit more seriously because suddenly our prospects went because no Open Cup this year, so it's just MLS or Leagues Cup.
Exactly. Yeah.
Since we just bowed out of the last cup.
No, I think RSL will definitely be taking this seriously because there's not that many opportunities for us to reclaim that spot in CONCACAF. So it's this or nothing at all. So why not? Next question. One pairing you're most excited to watch play together this season.
I saw this question earlier, and that is a fantastic question.
That's funny that you have that reaction because I saw that question and I was bugged by it. I
Why were you
really
bugged by it?
Yeah,
because pairs in soccer is this isn't basketball. This isn't Stockton to Malone, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. This is soccer. Like you don't have pairs. Like I think when I first thought of pairs, all right, I'll go with this. I don't know if they said best pair of RSL or best pair of all time, but the first pair I thought of was Xavi and Iniesta.
Mm.
That's a pair. I don't know who else you could think of. Maybe
I just thought of a joke, and then
I'm assuming you're not saying it because it's not appropriate.
nope. I'll tell you guys later. It has to do with Diego Luna for
Okay.
context for everyone else.
Okay.
no, I
I
think
think for me, I think my favorite pairing we're already seeing on field, and I think Alan will agree with me. And Nelly Ojeda.
I think that really is the only pairing. Actually, no, a center back pairing. I
which
think
one?
I think
Which one we got?
I think last year I think everyone's favorite was, and I think the past two seasons has been Vera Glad.
Mm.
But I think the new up and coming favorites will be Vera Henry.
Yeah, yeah. Agreed. Agreed. Like I want to see a better pairing, obviously, of Yogo, Luna, Yogo, Dominic, but we need to see something more out of Yogo to make that pair come to life.
Yep.
Last and final question for you guys. After two CONCACAF Champions League games and two MLS games so far this season, do you see any RSL players stand out thus far?
Standouts. I think the same one that we keep talking about every single week, and we're grateful that he's our captain.
I'm gonna give him an honorable mention.
Okay, give it.
Kobe Henry. He has been sharp, defensive, aggressive, fantastic dude.
That's a diamond in the rough.
For me, the biggest standout so far in these four games is Ayago. Nobody expected him to step up like the way he did. Obviously, we thought that Elias Manuel was going to be our striker. That didn't happen. And Iago was just thrown into the fire and scores a goal back to back games. So very impressed with him to step up the way he has.
Also,
I
all right,
like.
what?
Oh, I was just saying. I like how we've been pleasantly surprised so far this season.
We have been pleasantly surprised. In fact, I was going to mention pleasant surprise with Iago is the fact that he's big, fast, and he actually put away a one-on-one. What else can
When
we
wa-
ask for?
when was the last time we saw that from an RSL player?
I mean, we saw the opposite a lot from Julio. Couldn't score a one-on-one to save his life. Actually, no, that's a lie. That's people are gonna come out and be like, yeah, he scored like two of them, but also he was like 20 yards ahead of the defense, or it was like he stole it away from the defense and the defense was on the ground. Anyways, we have a good goal scorer. We're happy. Period. So far, so far. Um, any other thing you guys want to mention before we wrap this up?
Let's pack the stadium once again, everybody.
Yeah.
7:30 kickoff. San Diego here, America First Field. Be loud, be proud, because the team needs everything. Everybody show up early. We need you.
Um, the tailgate on Saturday. I'm not gonna lie, I don't go to a lot of them, hardly any. But when I went, I felt a great energy. Whether you go to the pregame tailgates or whatever, or you just go straight to the stadium, just be there to support. I mean, it's a great atmosphere to be in. So, that's all I can say. And obviously, you're gonna see all three of us on at the stadium at some point,
Yeah,
probably.
Christian and I will be at the tailgate on Saturday, so come stop by, come see us. We will have stickers for you, and we'll have a good time, you guys.
And you can catch me at midfield again. Let me know if you saw me. If you didn't see me, it's because you're not paying attention.
He's hard to miss.
I really am. I mean, well, look at this. I have it shines in the light. Look at that.
It does.
Blinded by the light.
All right, guys. Let's wrap this up. Marco, send us off.
If you guys are not already, head over to X, head over to Instagram, and follow us at the RSL Bros. Listen to us wherever you catch your podcast on Spotify or Apple, and then watch us on YouTube.
That's basically it. Also, Christian, what the heck was that photo that you just sent us? I'm gonna be looking at
Oh,
number nine
we'll,
transfers.
we can take a look at that later and maybe talk about it on social media. See what y'all think.
Let's do it. Catch you on the next time.
Take care, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.